Hey guys, this is mgswarrior2. Today I have a Pokemon Showdown battle, which is a random battle with a random team. I led off with LGM. He switched his Mr. Mime out to go out into Absol, a Dark type, which is the perfect choice to go up against a Psychic type, as I set up a nasty plot, but he pursuit trapped me, so he predicted my switch out. I went into Drapion. He goes out into Gliscor. I just wanted to get a layer of Toxic Spikes up. I didn't want to take an Earthquake, so I went out into Cielio because he's physically bulky and he can take physical attacks pretty well. He switches out his Gliscor, knowing it's at a disadvantage. So I set up a sub knowing he'd switch out. So that was a nice scout move for me. So he goes for Cross Chop, breaking my sub, and I went for the Surf to deal some damage. Pretty decent damage. So I went for the Protect, just to Toxic Stall this electivire for one turn, as it went for Wild Charge. So now I definitely had to switch. I didn't want to take an electric attack. Went out into Golem, which is the best choice. It was immune to electric attacks, but it does have the super effective Cross Chop, which dealt about half damage to Golem. So Golem finished off electivire with Earthquake. And by the way, that I'm using a banded Golem. He switches into his Grovyle. I went into Drapion. He decided to seed whatever came in, and it was Drapion, which was annoying. So I switched out Drapion because I didn't want to use a seeded Pokemon out there. So I got into Jinx. He didn't like that matchup with his Gliscor. So he went into Absol, and it took the Ice Beam. And it was almost a one-hit KO. So I predict he was going to pursuit trap me again. So I stayed in with Jinx and went for the Ice Beam. This time he goes out into Miltank and sets up some rocks. So here I set up Nasty Plot to attempt a sweep here. But Miltank went for the Body Slam. That did a lot of damage, and it also paralyzed Jinx. But my Jinx was able to one-hit KO the Miltank with a Psychic. So here comes his Mr. Mime. I'm leaving my Jinx out here as Death Fodder to the Thunderbolt. So now I bring in my Drapion because it's part dark. So Mime goes for Thunderbolt. That also paralyzed my Drapion, so I'm getting the bad end of the Parahax here. I went for Poison Jab. It did some nice damage, as his Mr. Mime went for a Hidden Power, which was a neutral type. I go for Rest here because I'm paralyzed and severely weakened. I wake up with Chesto Berry, which is a nice Chesto Resto set here I have on Drapion. So he decides to go Hidden Power again, and I finish off his Mr. Mime with a Poison Jab. So now he goes out into his best Pokemon, Gliscor. I switch out, not wanting to take another Earthquake. Go out into Cielio. It took an Earthquake, but unfortunately, Gliscor will be taking out Cielio here with a second Earthquake. So I lost my only counter to Gliscor. So I send out Furret. I think he feared an Ice Punch, so he went out into Grovyle. I went for the Return, and it dealt heavy damage to Grovyle. His Grovyle goes for the Giga Drain, and that did quite a bit of damage, and it also healed itself. So I went for Fire Punch, super effective, taking out the Grovyle. But unfortunately, losing Cielio would end up biting me in the end, as Return didn't do as much because Gliscor is too bulky, and it took out my Furret with the Acrobatics with the Flying Gem, and now it took out Golem with an Earthquake, so it's just going to sweep the rest of my team here. Send out Drapion. I know it's over, but I just keep on going. Go down swinging. with the poison jabs, even though it's not very effective. So that is good game ptdr74. Unfortunately, his Gliscor was too much for me. So thank you guys for watching my Pokemon Showdown battle. Comment, like, sub, and I'll see you guys next time.